You know how sometimes one single moment in a debate can just blow up? Well, that's exactly what we're looking at today. We're unpacking one speaker's entire argument, which all started from one of those moments. We're going to follow her line of reasoning from a super tense exchange on stage all the way to a huge critique of society itself. So let's dive.
It all kicks off with her saying this. That one moment on stage. It's the catalyst for everything else she's about to say. So the big question is, what did she claim actually led to this freeze?
Okay, so first up, let's set the scene. We're talking about a debate between the speaker and political commentator Ana Kasparian. But according to the speaker, the whole thing went off the rails right from the very beginning.
Here's her version of events, kind of step by step. First, she says that before they even started, she asked to exchange sources, but her opponent said no. Then, from the second the debate kicked off, she felt like she was just getting hit with personal attacks about her looks, about her family, and all of that, she claims, is what led to that moment where she just froze. And she points to this one specific tactic that she found, well, pretty deceptive. She describes a method where anytime she tried to make a point, she was just hammered with source, demanding the exact study, the sample size, everything. In her view, this wasn't about finding the truth at all. It was a strategy to just shut down the conversation, making sure the meaner person who screams louder is the one who wins.
But here's where it gets bigger. For the speaker, this debate wasn't just some bad experience. She argues it's a symptom of a much larger issue in society, and she gives it a specific name, the DEI hire.
So let's be super clear on what she means by this term she came up with. A DEI hire, in her view, is a woman who gets into a position of power because she's a woman, not based on merit. And a really crucial part of her definition is that this person is completely unaware that this dynamic is at play. And this is how she applies that label to her opponent. She draws this really sharp contrast between her opponent's qualifications, calling her just a girl out of college, and those of her male colleagues, one of whom is an accomplished lawyer, another with a PhD. For the speaker, this difference is basically all the proof she needs for her thesis.
But then, in a pretty surprising turn, she actually directs this label at herself. She says that while she works hard, she believes she's also a beneficiary of this dynamic. She admits she's met men who are far more intelligent than her, and acknowledges that she probably wouldn't have her platform if she were a man.
From here, the argument takes a deeply personal turn. The speaker starts to address those alleged attacks on her looks and family, and her defense is rooted completely in her connection to her father.
You can really feel the intense emotion at the heart of her defense here. She says she has so much pride for her father that it basically acts as a shield against any personal insults. And to help us understand that pride, she gives us his backstory. She describes her dad as the son of a fireman from a huge family of 13 kids. He worked 80-hour weeks his whole life, but still, somehow, found the time to coach her basketball team. He was, in her words, just a hard-working and kind man.
So this is the emotional logic she presents as her defense. It kind of works like this. An attack on her appearance is an attack on her father because she looks like him. And since her pride in her father is so immense, she figures the insults they have no power over her.
So after that personal defense, the speaker then zooms way out to make a much broader point. Her argument expands into a critique of what she sees as an entire system that's having a really devastating impact on men. 500. What's this number all about? Well, the speaker uses it as a really powerful anchor for this next part of our argument. That number, 500, is how many men a veteran named Terrence Popp has allegedly saved from suicide. And get this, she actually brought him with her to the debate. Her point is that a man like him, someone who has seen the system's worst effects and is actively saving lives, he's the one who really deserves a platform, not her.
And she supports this claim with a series of really powerful stories from men she's interviewed. We're talking about a prison guard in his 50s who can never retire because of alimony payments, men living in poverty just for a chance to see their kids, and fathers left totally powerless by the family court system. For her, these aren't just anecdotes, they are evidence of a system in a profound crisis.
So this is all building to her final overarching point. The speaker argues that our society has basically created a hierarchy of voices. Some get amplified, while others are intentionally silenced.
And this is how she sees that playing out. On one side, you've got the amplified voices, people who scream the loudest, influencers, and what she calls bitter women. And then on the other side, you've got the silenced voices, the veterans, the fathers in despair, and the men she believes are being destroyed by the system.
And this is her core conclusion right here. She argues that in today's culture, we've confused volume with being right. She believes that the loudest, most aggressive voices get rewarded with platforms and are seen as being correct, while all this quiet suffering just goes completely unheard.
So, after we've mapped out her entire argument, from that one frozen moment on a debate stage to this huge critique of power dynamics, we're left with this central question. In a world where it feels like everyone is talking, who actually gets heard? And what does that say about the stories we as a society choose to value?